Welcome to the SnoWest podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Harris, SnoWest Magazine. This is a special episode. This Avalanche Alliance program is very special, kind of near and dear to everybody in the industry here, but particularly the people here at this table. We have Matt Entz from Mountain Skills, based down in southwestern Colorado, South Fork, Colorado. Dustin Pancari with Climb, and John Summers with Climb. Avalanche Alliance, kind of grassroots effort that grew into something pretty significant, and over the years with these giveaways has raised a lot of money. Dustin, how much have you brought in with the Alliance?
So we're over $500K now.
That's significant. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, absolutely.
And where do the funds go primarily?
We really focused on kind of two main areas. Avalanche forecast centers to help build forecasted motorized areas. And then scholarships to help get motorized users more Avalanche training. More opportunities to get training and then help pay for that training. So they're developing a training network, so there's more professionals that are qualified to train, and then also more people that can take their recreational training as well.
Right. Yeah, I think one thing that we saw was, as far as the motorized community goes, there was areas that weren't receiving basically the structure they needed with the forecast centers. And so that, like Dustin said, that's one area we've really focused on, is those riding areas where we're not getting good forecast information. So that's been very important.
So what are some of the areas specifically that you guys have been able to increase the forecasting capability or just existence period?
Yeah, so one of them is Island Park. As we all know, Island Park's a huge mecca for snowmobiling. We get a lot of people, a lot of locals that ride there, but we also get a lot of people from the Midwest. And there wasn't a daily or even a weekly observations or forecast there, and so that's one area that we've been able to focus on, and we're working with the Gallatin Forecast Center to do that.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, we're here to announce this year's fundraiser. You've raised over $500,000 over the past several years, giving away snowmobiles. Last year you gave away a Ford F-350 that was, decked out. You guys had a lot of companies involved in that. What was the recap on that?
There was there was a lot of goodies on that thing. We had Wheel Pros stepped up big time and kicked in wheels and tires, and we had airlift, and we had Marimoto lights, and airbags, and the thing was sweet. Just with the lift and the airbags, it was the ultimate sled hauler. Was really what we were going for.
I saw that thing driving around the other day.
You did?
Yeah.
I've been trying to see.
It went to Wyoming, didn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah, it went, well, it technically didn't go to Wyoming. The person that won it ended up selling it back to the dealership, and then someone locally bought it. So.
Oh, okay, that's
probably stayed local.
That's
why
I've seen it.
I keep hoping I'll see it to see if they keep the graphics on the bottom of it or not.
Yeah.
I think they were still there.
Were they?
Still rocking all the sponsors.
Yeah.
And that's the cool thing about the Avalanche Alliance. It's really bringing the snowmobile community together to do what we're doing, and that's awesome. We have so much support throughout the industry to make this happen. So, and even outside of it, so the Diesel brothers were the ones that actually assembled the truck. They put all the good parts on it. So, we're bringing a lot of people into this effort to hopefully make a big difference.
Yeah, you've created a lot of awareness about that, and I think the truck didn't bring in as much money as you were hoping, but it brought in a lot of awareness. You had Illumiduty, the big Instagram account about Ford trucks. That guy was involved in reposting stuff. Diesel Brothers. I think it grew the capacity of what Avalanche Alliance is reaching.
Absolutely.
It grew the network. Yeah, and every time we add more partners, then we're able to leverage their network and try to get the word out more, and hopefully we can just continue to do that.
So the big prize this year, you're going back to a snowmobile giveaway. You have a brand new 2023 Polaris Chaos RMK / the 175 track Patriot Boost.
165, yeah.
165. Well, 275 lug.
Yeah, 275. There you go. Yeah.
Too many sevens and
you're
fives.
You're gooder at math than I am, right?
I'm horribler at math. Yeah, I can't do the metric to U.S. conversion. We had Andreas Bergmark on here a while ago. He's
meters?
speaking in meters, and I'm
yeah.
like, times 3 plus a little bit. That's all I remember.
3.3.
That's too much pressure.
3.3, yeah. We had to learn that in Chile, too.
Yeah, so there's a 2023 Polaris Patriot Boost RMK Slash up for grabs, and this thing is decked out. We went down to the Climb shop and did some photography on it, and you had just wrapped it up.
We just finished. Yeah, we had a couple new sponsors. So we reprinted a couple pieces of the wrap. My kid had put them on there, and the wrap turned out awesome. I love it.
So what all is on this? Because this isn't just a stock Polaris. This is decked out, ready to go. I mean, high-end suspension, a lot of cool stuff.
It's been, because we've had so many generous companies be involved, it's got a lot of good stuff on it. SLP, Ice Age, Zebro, ZRP. I mean, it's got, Zebro's suspension all the way, all 4 corners. Ice Age did the rails and the wheels and kicked in a couple other parts. And ZRP's given us some bar mounts and they did the lightweight rotor. We got toe holds and brake cover and just all kinds of stuff to beef it up and make it lighter. And then SLP kicked in skis, head, silencer, clutch kit.
You got the Ice Age Elevate kit.
The front end, the Elevate. Spindles.
Pro Armor next level bumpers, front and rear.
Front and rear. The custom, the powder coated red one on the back looks really good. That red pops.
Yeah, it looks good, really good there. Yeah, you got Zebros, pull rope handles, stirrups, like you said, Zollinger Racing products. You got a lot of stuff on there. And then it's wrapped from Arctic FX.
Yeah, Jordan did. And it's cool, too, because he just gives us a clean slate. It's not like, go pick one of these. I mean, he's just like, okay, what do we want it to represent? And just kind of lets us do what we want, which means he has to put a lot of time into it. There's a lot of development time into that. So everybody's been really generous.
And so that's the grand prize, this decked out 23 Patriot Boost RMK Chaos. John, what's second place prize?
So we've got the Arctic Cat ZR 200, which Arctic Cat stepped up big and has helped us out. And so again, that's what's so cool about this. It's all the community coming together. We appreciate Arctic Cat stepping in.
First prize is the Marlon sled deck.
Yeah. Marlon. Yeah, Marlon's been with us since the beginning. They've helped us out every single year. So yeah, the first prize is the Marlon, and then the Arctic Cat ZR 200. And then Climb did something, right?
I think we're doing some gear.
Third prize is a head-to-toe winter package from Climb, and
and then
Avi Pack.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like 40 some $100 or something. I can't remember.
So head to toe, chest to back.
Yep.
Fully covered. And that's a great way to kick in and include the Avi equipment on that by including the pack piece, because you guys are kind of cutting edge on the Avi Pack technology.
Yep, and then Ortovox also stepped up with a Avalanche, basically
a safety pack, safety kit.
Yep.
So that includes their interactive, intuitive Avalanche transceiver. It's a rechargeable battery. You've got the ALU 240 probe and their Badger shovel. Yep. That's a lot of good gear. And then you've got the Freeride 18 Av bag.
Yep. So that's a big package too.
Yeah, so that's all your Avi gear.
Yep,
right there on there. So you actually have 2 packages that include Avi gear.
Yep, absolutely.
And it's the cool thing about that. This is what I love about this. It's like, okay, we got a Polaris sled, we got an Arctic Cat sled. Competitors, but still pushing for the good improvement of the sport. Now you got Climb has an Avi bag, Ortovox has an Avi bag, but we're both working together, and it's just you got the whole industry coming together to save lives.
Yeah,
and that's way cool to see.
So Matt, this has made a big impact, right? You teach, do some instructional backcountry snowmobiling.
Yep. Back
down there in Mountain Skills down in South Fork, Colorado. You've integrated Avalanche training and education into your program, and you are kind of at the cutting edge, top edge of that. How's that working?
It's been really awesome over the years. We've been teaching Avalanche courses. I think our first level 1 was, back in 2016. And so since then, we've just continued to build. And in that time, it was tough for motorized programs to fill courses. And something that's been really awesome with what we've done with Dustin and Dan going out with the Avalanche Alliance, the presentations we've done have been trying to help people get some awareness but understand the importance of the on-snow training. And just like they're talking about how cool it's been with different companies within the industry working together, we've been out there promoting all the different motorized providers. So all over the country, it's not just you have to come and take a course with me or go do it with this person. We're just trying to help people understand where they can get that education. So I feel like we've made a difference. It definitely has helped the scholarships from the fundraising. That's been really cool because everything costs money, and it's great when people can get some assistance on the financial side. But I mean, we're helping fill courses where there's more and more demand, and that's really awesome. The more people that we can reach and spend time with on the snow, the better.
And the more certified avalanche educators there are out there, the easier it is to get everybody else, kind of saturate the market with that.
It's a task to go through everything to get to that point where a person is a qualified instructor, and then even beyond that, a provider where they can host the courses. And it takes dedication and commitment from people to go through all of that.
So what's the progression? You start out kind of on the avalanche awareness side of things, and that's like going to a dealership and sitting through a seminar and learning about how snow moves and what can trigger stuff, and then you progress into the education.
Yeah, that might be kind of the first step where you learn some stuff and maybe open your eyes, and you learn that if you're going to ride the mountains, you need some education and some gear. And then from that, a level 1 is a good detailed course. I think that should be kind of the bare minimum for people to get out. And then a rescue course, just designated rescue, would be the next progression, and that's kind of a prerequisite for some of the other trainings. And then you get into professional level courses. There's Pro 1 and there's instructor trainings and Pro 2 and course leader trainings. There's a lot out there, and then there's continued education required every year. There's a lot of different ways to obtain that. There's a lot of programs out there, and like workshops and snow science workshops and ways to just continue getting education for all of the instructors. That is kind of a requirement to keep up that certification as an instructor.
So from your experience, what you've seen on the mountain, describe the difference between somebody who has even had just the basics of a level 1 education. How does that translate into speed and reaction and recovery time on the mountain if a group of guys are out riding and somebody triggers something and you have to respond?
And just speaking from the practicing that we do with people that have done it, or once they've done it a bit, compared to people that maybe it's their first time, it's an insane difference. Even just the difference in assembling their gear. We did these gear challenges last year that led to the trip to Chile, and some of those took quite a long time, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And some of them people are doing in 30 seconds. So the teamwork and doing it with the people that you're riding with, a well-assembled team of people that have practiced together and understand the proper steps and follow the system can be really, really quick and efficient, where otherwise people might be scratching their head and not actually understand how to use the equipment. They may have the equipment, having it's one part, but actually knowing how to use it, how the transceivers communicate together and how to read that, and then how to use your probe and the correct way of shoveling. All of these things make a difference. And the way we teach is we're out there to save somebody's life. So there needs to be a sense of urgency with it.
Yeah, and along with that too, I think you're improving the whole overall riding experience, because now as a rider with that education, you know how to use the equipment, you're more confident in being in the backcountry, you've taken some of the fear element out of it, and you know the dangers. You know what to look for, and you know that if something happens, I'm a little more equipped to go respond to that.
Yeah, definitely. I think another big part is understanding what resources are out there for us as a rider before we even get out on the mountain. John hit on funding for forecasts from avalanche centers where there wasn't a forecast previously. That's great information that we should get before we even go riding, and helps us plan our day. So again, this is another thing from the Avalanche Alliance, that for us as a motorized community, it's really cool to see that kind of an impact being made from something that was just kind of an idea and not sure where it was going to go or turn into. And like, there's some real results out there from it.
Absolutely. And John, you've been pushing this from the background for a long time. I mean, ever since I've known you within this sport. What's the transition you've seen within the snowmobile industry of people taking an interest in this? Because they weren't always that interested in it.
No, there was definitely a mindset that had to be changed. You know, when I first started snowmobiling, it just seemed like avalanches were kind of a joke, you know, like, it's no big deal. I'm on a high horsepower sled. I can outrun them. I can do this. I can do that. No one really paid attention and less practiced or got the equipment. And I think over the years, things have changed in a big way. The attitudes have changed. People take it seriously. People are riding with the equipment. You know, so I feel like we've come a long ways, but this is kind of where the Avalanche Alliance comes in. It's like there's more steps that have to be taken. And, you know, Matt talked about, you know, getting the practice and then this and that. And I've been around this for a long time, but until I started taking these classes, I didn't realize how much time I was wasting just with simple things of how you pack your equipment and where your zippers are. And I mean, there's a lot of little things that can save a lot of time. And it's not till you're taking these classes and you're getting trained that you realize that there's just so much more to do. So it's awesome to see where we've come. But it's really, there's another step there that we all need to take and make sure that we're getting trained and that we're getting that on the snow training, because there's no replacement for that. So,
how important is the practice aspect of that, Dustin?
Well, it could be the difference between saving a life or not, if you think about it, because the first time I tried to deploy all of my rescue gear, you know, it was 2 minutes to get it all out and kind of figure out where it was and how it goes together and be ready to try to save a life, versus practicing 5 or 6 times and having some instruction and somebody teach me how to be more efficient with it and little, you know, tips and tricks. And then in addition to deploying the gear, the best practices to perform the rescue, you know, the quickest ways to do a transceiver search and the quickest ways to dig and ways to reduce that time. You know, it could go from a 30-minute burial to, you know, to a 5-minute, and that's the difference whether or not somebody lives or not. And so it's much more important than I think people realize.
I can give you a really sad example of that. Unfortunately, we had a weather event last year that led to, everyone says, you know, this place has never slid before. Well, it did on this day, and a guy was involved, and nobody had gear. They rounded up gear and were trying to find, basically had to resort to probes only because it wasn't wearing a beacon, so that didn't do any good. And they didn't know anything about techniques or anything to do. They just were in a frantic stabbing the snow trying to find a needle in a haystack. And unfortunately, it wasn't until a couple of days later when we got a search together and probe line and located where the person was at. But someone came up to me later and said, we probed this spot, but we didn't have any idea that there was a certain way that we should have probed it to make sure we were covering the area. And it's something that could be so simple like that, you know, might make a big difference.
And it's not different really than anything else in life. Like, we learn techniques for everything, right? Everything, there's always kind of a technique. If guys are trying to be better snowmobilers, they're trying to learn a technique to be better, right? And so everything we do with avalanche safety, we can practice and get better and learn the proper techniques and improve. And it's just, the difference is it could be a life or death situation.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's run through this prize list again, because you're generating such a large amount of funds and donations for these organizations. So if you're looking for avalanche education or courses near you, where's the best resource to go?
So the Avalanche Alliance.org.
Avalanche Alliance.
Avalanche dash. I always cut the dash out because I'm in a hurry. Avalanche-alliance.org is the resource where you can find a ton of information, including forecasts, what providers are providing avalanche training, and also there's a tab there on how to win the prizes and buy tickets. So we've tried to create that Avalanche Alliance website into just a resource where you can get as much information as you need to know about avalanche training and how to, you know, contribute and promote and and whatnot.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's run through these again. Grand prize is a 2023 Polaris Patriot Boost RMK Chaos 165. Total value on that package is $31,291. You got an Arctic FX wrap. You've got Ice Age parts, starting line products, ZRP, Pro Armor, Seat Concepts, Exit Shocks, Zebros. And then first prize is a Marlon Explorer Pro 2 sled deck. That's valued at $6,200, delivery included. Second prize is a 2024 Arctic Cat ZR200. That's valued at $5,500. Third place prize is Climb Head to Toe Winter Package. That includes an Avi pack. You got a Locksaw one-piece F3 helmet, Atlas 24-liter Avi airbag, Edge goggle, Pro GTX BOA boot. Fourth place prize is Ortovox safety package, valued at $1,700. That includes your transceiver, lightweight shovel and probe, and the Light Trick Freeride 18 Avi bag. Again, we're already up to nearly $23,000 raised on this thing.
Yeah, awesome.
And this kicked off less than a week ago.
Yeah.
September 1st. Yeah.
My favorite part about all of this, because everybody's always asking for money for something or another, and it's awesome that people are generous. But with this fundraiser and sweepstakes with the Avalanche Alliance, the money's staying here to benefit our motorized community. So it's staying with us as a whole, and I think that's pretty awesome. It's not something you're just making it and it's going who knows where.
Yeah, because avalanches are not new. Avalanche education is not new, but the motorized aspect of it. Going and doing a non-motorized course doesn't necessarily give you the tools that you need because you're covering terrain in a much larger area.
That's the biggest difference.
Both sides of the mountain, and you're a heavier trigger, and you have a lot of people in the group. So this motorized aspect of the Avalanche education is key, and Avalanche Alliance is driving that for us. A couple other sponsors here I want to make sure get recognized. ARI, Avalanche Research Education, Live Large Universe, Dan Adams with Next Level Riding Clinics. He couldn't be here on the podcast today, but he's a big integral part of this. But everybody, really thank you to the sponsors, the Avalanche Alliance, and go to avalanche-alliance.org. Click on Donate Now to enter. There's generally a promotion where you get bonus tickets running throughout the year. When does this contest end?
We'll go through December 10th, I believe.
Yeah,
this
it
is
should
the
say
last
that
day.
right on the
It'll
top.
say it on the. But I believe it's the 10th, and then we'll announce the draw. We'll announce the winner on the 18th.
Okay, yeah, contest closes December 10th at midnight, 11:59 p.m. Drawing date will be December 18th.
And
so somebody's getting a good Christmas present.
December's not very far away.
No, that's a short window, and this sled is built. It's here in the climb booth here at Heydays. We're looking at it right now, and this thing is ready to go. So
that's awesome.
You will be riding this thing this season.
Really cool snowmobile.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one.
And will this be at other events throughout the fall?
Yeah, we'll try to circulate it around. I know there's going to be some shows, your shows. Hopefully we can get it down there with you guys.
Yeah, we'll have the
be
Utah
on display,
show.
and we'll follow the social media channels too, because that's where we may kick out some deals, earn more tickets or things like that. So when we do announce those, that'll be the best way to see what those promotions are.
Yep, you can buy packs of tickets, and every time you get a paycheck, carve a little off. It's almost like investing in the lottery, right?
Yep, just makes your chances better.
Well, and it like we've said, this goes back to the motorized community, so you're going to win no matter what.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We've had a guy win. One guy, he won
the
Marlon sled deck twice.
Yeah.
2 years in a row. So don't tell me that it doesn't work, because this guy's won twice.
Well, and your winners generally are going to be snowmobile enthusiasts.
And they buy a lot of tickets. He just bought a lot of tickets. And so.
Well, yeah, you're gonna have a handful of people that have a fantastic Christmas this year. But thanks for coming on, Matt Entz, Dustin Pancarry, John Summers, Avalanche Alliance. Again, that's avalanche-alliance.org. Click on Donate Now to enter. Find out more about all the prize packages, and get on there and donate. Support a good cause.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ryan.
Thanks to SnoWest too, by the way. SnoWest is also a great sponsor of this, so we want to recognize them.
Well, thank you. We're happy to be involved.
So thanks, Ryan.
All right, thanks for coming on.